Yes, it all started out as a mild curiosity in the junkyard.
There are some corners of the universe which have read the most terrible things.
Go away.
Always remembering, of course, not to reverse the polarity of the neutron.
Change, my dear. And it seems on a moment too soon.
Decision.
Don't worry, it's bigger on the inside.
Doctor Who.
Excuse me, do you mind not farting while I'm saying the word?
More of the big
I always read the instruction.
Kidneys! How can you kidneys?
Would you like a jelly baby?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Welcome to another edition of Doctor Who Time and Space. Oh, I love that theme tune.
Oh yes. What is quite interesting though is because in order to fit all the Doctors in, we had to slow the music down very slightly. So at the moment it still sounds weird.
I know, it does sound weird, but you're going to have to get used to it because it will be here for at least 45 shows because that leads us to the end of 2017.
Okay.
So
what is Doctor Who Time and Space?
Well, it's hosted by me, Lewis Moon.
And me, Dr. Cool.
And you may realise that it's episode 201, so that's the new theme tune, which started last episode. Last episode we had a very special edition. This week's not as special, but it's still going to be really good.
No, I mean every week's special.
Every week's special.
Every week's special.
Every week's special.
I'm a little bit throaty today, so if I sound a bit gravelly,
Yeah.
I apologise in advance.
Oh no, that's fine. Okay.
So,
did we
what do we
say
have on
who
this
we
week's
are?
show?
Yeah, we did say who we are. So this week on the show, we will be discussing our worst 6 episodes from the classic series in the 6-episode challenge.
We'll also on this show be talking about The Beast Below.
The 11th Doctor story, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We will be talking about the latest Doctor Who news.
We should be pressing the magic randomizer.
And that's about it.
As if that's not enough.
Yes, I know. It better be enough because that's all you're going to get. Sorry. Okay, so as we usually do, we're going to do a little sum up of what we've been doing this week. Doctor Who and non-Doctor Who related. Deacle, have you got anything to note here?
I've only really got the one thing I've done this week,
Yes.
which is obviously Walking Dead is back, so I've been continuing to watch the new series of The Walking Dead, and really enjoyed it this week. Very different one.
What did you think of it then?
I liked it. It was all about the Negan and the Saviours really, and the captive Eugene and Dwight trying to come to terms with a few things. But I don't really want to spoil anything, so I won't say too much.
Yeah.
But it was a few people were moaning it was a bit slow. A lot of other people really liked it. So it's what you expect from a sort of 2 or 3 episodes into the season, really.
Do you think it's going at a bit too slow pace? Obviously, I'm too young to watch The Walking Dead, but and I don't watch it, so...
Not me personally. I think it's good. I think it's good to have a bit of light and shade, because otherwise it's just killing zombies all the time. It's boring.
Yeah.
So I like it. Yeah.
Okay. Me then. Not much this week actually to note because I've been relatively busy. Apart from updating my website and stuff, I've been listening to more of my audio adventures. I was listening to the story, the conclusion of Mistfall.
Okay.
Which was interesting. Sadly though, because I haven't watched most of the stories around it, there's this bit at the end where it sort of led into the next one, and I didn't have any clue what was going on.
Oh, okay.
Because it seemed to link to ones from the past, like the one before it.
Well, maybe it's worth getting a few of those then to try and
Yeah, maybe it would be.
sort of blend it all together.
If they go down at price again, because...
So, when you're choosing your Big Finish ones, is it that you go for ones on sale predominantly?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's one I would really like.
Makes
But
sense.
They're mostly £14.99 with postage on CD, so
Yeah.
probably wise to get the download version. But I'd say Big Finish. I'd been waiting for about 2 weeks from one of my audios, and that's one of the criticisms of the CD versions of Big Finish is that they're quite slow,
Yeah.
relatively slow on delivery.
When you
So,
buy the CD ones, do you get a digital download version as well, or not?
I think, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can listen to it, but I like the CD versions, partly because I don't have to bring other things upstairs and I can just use my DVD player.
Yeah.
But I think that it was really good, Mistfall, by the way.
Yeah.
A new one posted through my door, which is The Girl Who Never Was, I think it is.
Okay.
Which, you know, looks quite good.
Which Doctor's that?
Paul McGann. Final one with him and Charlie.
Okay.
So, be interesting to see the conclusion of that story before
Definitely.
Charlotte Pollard goes on to star with the Sixth Doctor in
Okay.
some audios. So Doctor swap in those ones.
Ah, cool.
Anything else I've been doing this week?
I'll tell you what you did do.
What?
Posted live a couple of days back.
Oh yes.
A video.
Yeah, a new video. You can see it at Miss Lucy on YouTube. We kind of have done a lot of podcast work recently, this podcast work, so we've been releasing that a lot on the channel. But I think that it's good to release a proper video. We've got the Space Museum, The Chase video up, because I watched those two stories a few weeks ago, or the Space Museum at least, and The Chase I watched again.
Yeah.
So you can see my review there, mostly positive review. Also, I'm thinking about how to spend my Amazon gift card. Have you got?
Have you got an Amazon gift card?
I've got an Amazon gift card from Christmas, and I still haven't spent it
Okay.
because I never had a chance.
Oh,
I've got a long
what-
time to spend it.
Why don't you use that for DVD of some form?
Yeah, I was thinking about buying Robot actually,
Okay. Yeah.
because I've not got that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Do
a
you think
good
that'd be
idea.
wise?
Yeah, that'd be a good one to do.
Yeah, I might buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else non-Who related?
Not particularly. No, not of any geeky related things. Anyway.
Okay. Well, in that case, shall we head off to the news?
We better do. Yes. So then, for the news this week, obviously we had the season 10 trailer last week,
We did
teaser.
indeed. Hot off the press last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, before we get on to our news, I just wanted to, because, you know, we were just watching it whilst we had no sort of fan speculation from the trailer. I just wanted to add a few things from our teaser breakdown.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
First of all, we noticed a few things about the titles, or fans think they've noticed things about the titles.
Okay.
These may fit in with some of the things we've already been seeing. Episode 1's rumoured, although we thought it had been confirmed as A Star in Her Eye, the title could be The Pilot,
Okay.
which could suggest Bill's joining or something else that goes on in this first episode. Episode 2, Smile, which would really suit into that episode.
Would with the emoji.
Yes.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
Thin Ice for episode 3, which would suit in because we did see some pictures of the set and it did say beware thin ice.
Okay.
And that's the Victorian one. Then Knock Knock, although we thought it was going to be called The Haunted Hub, episode 4 rumoured Knock Knock, and Oxygen for episode 5.
Okay.
These are just rumours.
They're quite plausible though, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
We've only got 6 weeks now to wait, so
Yeah.
42 days from recording. It may be less for you listening. So it's exciting. In a couple of weeks, we'll be here anticipating the episode, which would be on that night. So
Fantastic.
15th of April. Make sure you stay tuned here because we'll be previewing previewing the latest series.
Okay.
So this week in the actual news, though, We have some sad news, we had some Series 10 news, and we have some new Doctor speculation. Let's start with the last one then. Chris Marshall has been circulating the next Doctor rumour mill. Ever since it was made public, he is quitting BBC's Death in Paradise, curiously close to Capaldi announcing his own exit from Doctor Who. Could it be more than just a coincidence? Some bookmakers have now suspended betting on Marshall's after seeing a sudden spike in bets, possibly indicating someone has insider knowledge.
Perhaps what actually happened is perhaps they saw Chris Marshall walking into the bookies, putting down a £500 bet on Chris Marshall becoming the next Doctor Who.
Maybe.
You never know.
As some may recall, a similar situation occurred back in 2013 when Peter Capaldi's name came out of nowhere, receiving a flurry of bets before he was officially revealed, which means it is very likely now.
So we've still not got any idea of when this is likely to
No. Do you think it'll be before or after in Series 10?
It's a good way of getting a bit of interest in the new series.
But the problem is, if they release it, say, a couple of days or the day before Series 10, it completely overshadows the premiere.
Yeah.
So I'd rather it was in the middle or afterwards, because I think a lot of people would tune into the first episode anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to do that for the first one.
No, true. I think I'd rather they didn't announce it. I'd rather they tried to hide it and see what happens. I mean, it'd be possible not to get out.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they could hide it to at least the regeneration.
Yeah, that'd be
right.
great.
The end of the Christmas one, just have a regeneration and be like, oh, that's who it is then.
Yeah, Chris Marshall regenerate. Lambrook's Alex Donahue said, a surge of punters have backed Marshall, so we've had no choice to close the book. If he does get the gig, the bookies will be exterminated first. So, the current top 5 favourites for the new Doctor.
Yeah.
Chris Marshall leads with 4 to 5. Tilda Swinton second with 5 to 1. Olivia Colman with 6 to 1 next. Phoebe Waller-Bridge with 8 to 1, and Maxine Peake with 12 to 1.
They're all women by the top one.
5, yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
It's very interesting, yeah. I'm not sure about the last 2 people. I didn't even know they were in the line.
Yeah.
Don't know who they are.
I'm not very good on my celebrities, so I'm not sure either.
I'm okay, but depends who it is, really. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of news about speculation for the new Doctor and talking about how the new Doctor's going to be cast, who it could be, what's going to happen. Obviously, season 11 or 2018 won't just be known as introducing introducing the new Doctor. It'll also be known for introducing Chris Chibnall as the showrunner. He's talked actually this week. He's told us an interesting article about the possibility of a female taking over the role as the Doctor.
Okay.
When quizzed on the fan-splitting subject by the East Anglican Times, Chibnall said, "I can honestly say that nothing has yet been decided. I haven't got my feet under the table yet. I've been working on the play and I am still finishing the latest series of Broadchurch." Well, you better get a move on because it's already started. He continues, "Nothing is ruled out, but I don't want the casting to be a gimmick. And that's all I can say." Does this rule out the fact of a female Doctor, do you think?
Or it could be trying to just put a bit of a smoke screen on it.
Yeah. Do you think we will have a female Doctor? Or do you think now it's likely we won't? Or
judging on that, I think it would suggest that we probably won't.
Yeah.
But up until that statement, I would have thought we probably would.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to say.
I mean, I think it's very daring, whoever, Because one day it will happen, presumably. One day we will get a female Doctor, whether it's this Doctor, the next, or one in the far future.
Perhaps we'll get a female showrunner.
Yeah, no, we've never had a female
Showrunner.
Maybe that's the next move.
And then perhaps she will be the first one to go for a female Doctor.
Yeah, maybe that's the next move.
Maybe somebody like
Chipmunk.
I've forgotten her name now. The one that wrote Face the Lady.
Sarah Dollard. Yeah.
Maybe somebody like that.
That'd be very interesting, actually, to have a female showrunner.
I mean, to be honest, Doctor Who is one of the series where they can get away with it anyway, isn't it? Because let's face it, if they found that it wasn't very popular, then they just bump her off at the end of the first series and have her regenerate back into a man again.
Yeah.
Okay, it may taint a bit of history, but...
But yeah, so it's very likely, as we've said, a lot of shows that it could be a female, but now we've got the bookies on Chris Marshall. It's becoming less likely.
Yeah, I think that sort of suggests that's who it would be.
Yeah, I think
the bookies aren't often wrong.
We may have found a new Doctor, people. With this
Interesting to see how long they go till they announce it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good to look back in a few months when we found out who the next Doctor is, and we look back and see if we're right or we were just plain stupid.
He does have the look of a Doctor about him.
He does, yeah.
Doesn't he? 'Cause he's got a certain sort of eccentricity about him.
He does, yeah. And he's ginger.
And he's ginger, which should excite the Doctor, since he's commented before, hasn't he? Was it Matt Smith that, when he regenerated into Matt Smith, that he said, "I'm still not ginger" or something?
Yeah,
yeah,
it was. So I think the Doctor would be very happy to be ginger.
Okay. Any more news?
We do, yeah. We have some quite sad news this week, and that's that Neil Fingleton has died at the age of 36. Now, Neil was known to Doctor Who fans for playing the Fisher King in the 2015 Doctor Who stories Under the Lake and Before the Flood. In 2007, Fingleton was awarded the Guinness World Record as the tallest British-born man and the tallest man in the European Union, standing at 7'6" or 2'33". Neil Fingleton was born in Durham in 1980. An outstanding baseball player, he spent 8 years in education in the United States, winning a sporting scholarship and studying at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and later at the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. In 2004, he made his professional debut as a baseball player for the now defunct Boston Frenzy. He later played professionally in China, Italy, Greece, England, and for the Spanish teams Club Barcelona, Lectures, and Ciudad Real. In 2007, injury forced him to abandon his sporting career and he took up acting. He appeared in the film 47 Ronin alongside Keanu Reeves and played the giant Magnemite in the TV series The Game of Thrones. He appeared in the 2015 film Jupiter Ascending, the Fox Studios film X-Men First Class, in the Marvel Entertainment film Avengers Age of Ultron. Neil Fingleton died on last Saturday after suffering a heart attack.
Very sad, that.
Yeah, I know, and we lose him at such a young age.
Yeah, no age at all, is it?
I mean, the Fisher King was was very underused in
He was underused, he looked very cool.
He did look very cool.
Mm.
He died very easily, if you may remember.
No, that's fine. But no, it's very sad news. Huh?
Very sad news. Obviously, you're a Game of Thrones fan.
Yes,
Is he a
that's
big
right.
part? Is Magnemite?
It's a relatively small part.
Yeah.
But an interesting part.
Yes.
And in a great episode.
Yeah. Interesting to hear about the thoughts there of what was coming up. Sorry, not what.
Was
what
it
it's
one
like.
of the Comic Cons we went to?
Not that we went to. Was it one of the Showmasters ones?
Okay, I just seem to remember him being there. But
I don't think so. He might have been at Bournemouth. Was he at Bournemouth?
might have been. Got a feeling he might have been, yeah.
I can't remember him there.
Yeah.
Might have been at a different day.
I guess if he was going to be there, you'd recognise him. Well, not necessarily recognise him, but you'd have known that there was somebody incredibly tall there.
Yeah. Okay, so Fathom Events are planning to show this year's series premiere of Doctor Who in cinemas across the United States on the 17th and 19th of April, including additional features. By the way, this isn't in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Come together with fellow fans to celebrate the return of Doctor Who to the airways from when the Doctor Who Series 10 premiere returns to the big screen. Join Peter Capaldi as the Doctor, Matt Lucas as Nardole, and Pearl McKee, however they spell it wrong, as the new companion Bill, for 2 nights only, including exclusive bonus features to be announced soon. The Doctor Who Series 10 premiere is written and executive produced by Stephen Moffat, executive produced by Brian Minchin, produced by Peter Bennett and directed by Lawrence Goff. The season was shot in Cardiff at BBC Wales Roadblock Studios. Doctor Who is produced by BBC Studios Wales in co-production with BBC America. Doctor Who fans, more details are expected shortly, with tickets going sale via the Fathom website from the Friday the 10th of March. So get those if you're a fan in the US.
So do we know for a fact that this isn't going to be happening in the UK?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get a Series 10 premiere.
Okay.
No.
We didn't last series, did we?
No. Do you think it'll be an hour-long premiere or just a 45 minute?
Normal length, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well,
It's usually when it's a Doctor, it's an hour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal length, I reckon. Or maybe slightly longer, but
Maybe like
nothing
50.
substantial.
No.
Okay. Any more? I've noticed we haven't had any Lethbridge Stewart novels released recently.
We
Surely there
don't
must
know.
be due one of those within the next hour or so.
We are, yeah. Is this the final bit of news? I think this is the final bit of news.
Okay.
Classic Doctors, New Monsters, Volume 2. Last year, fans were really happy by the release of Classic Doctors, New Monsters, a box set which saw the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th Doctors fight off against monsters like the Weeping Angels, the Sycorax and the Sontarans. This year, a new box set has been released and is being released, and this is the cover here for Decool to see.
Okay. Do you want to explain it for the listeners?
Well, I'll explain what every story is going to be.
Okay.
Because that's basically what the cover is. You can see it over at the show notes at mrlewismeanadventures.weebly.com. So, a brand new box set of 4 adventures featuring monsters from the new series of Doctor Who. The first one is The Night of the Vrastranada by John Dorney, which sees Tom Baker's 4th Doctor encounter the Vrastranada, which previously appeared in The Silence in the Library and The Forest of the Dead. This is a description. Funworld was set to be the happiest planet in the galaxy, planet of joy, of euphoria, of laughter and delight, except construction was made by reports of a predator, and then, a few days before opening, all communication ceased. Owner Georgia Donnelly is desperate to open the resort and has hired Amanda Steele's crew to find out what happened on the planet. They're the best, but even they might not be up to the task. Joined by the Doctor and being picked off one by one, they slowly start to realise that something terrifying lurks in the shadows.
Ooh.
That's followed by The Empire of the Rachnos by Scott Hancock, which sees Peter Davidson's 5th Doctor facing off against the Rachnos, who appeared in the 2006 story, the Christmas Invasion. Not the Christmas, the Runaway Bride. Okay, when a distress call rips the TARDIS from the vortex, dragging it back through time, it arrives in the midst of a conflict between Gallifrey and an ancient foe. The Doctor, as ever, wants to help, but in returning a wounded combatant home, he becomes further and further entangled in a web of deceit and recrimination. A web spun by an 8-legged Rachnos and her minions. The Empire of the Rachnos is at war, and wherever he stands, the Doctor is on the wrong side. That's followed by a story which is the final one to be revealed details, and that's the Carrionite Curse by Simon Guerrier, which sees Colin Baker's Sixth Doctor face the Carrionites which appeared in the Shakespeare Code.
Well, that's an interesting combination, isn't it?
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
Katie Bell returns to her Midlands home to find strange goings on at the Buskers Fair, a witch trial in the 1980s, a bonfire ready to be lit. Luckily, a colourful visitor is already investigating, and the local vicar, Katie's dad, is versed in tales of the macabre. Terrifying forces are on the loose, and the town hall holds the secret. There is black magic in the Black Country, and the Doctor has the name of his enemy on the tip of his tongue.
Yeah, that sounds an interesting one.
Yeah. Okay, final one.
Yeah.
Thrush and Nada are back again, and they face against Paul McGann's Doctor.
Okay.
Jacqueline Pearce also guest stars in this as Elistra, recurring her roles from the War Doctor series, which the War Doctor final release was released late February.
Okay.
As the Time War rages, Cardinal Elistra of Gallifrey seeks to create ever more dangerous weapons to destroy, to deploy against the enemy. When the Doctor stumbles across Cynthia's station, he discovers that the Time Lords have sponsored a project to weaponise already lethal creatures. But in doing so, Eva Morrison and her team have unwittingly used a colony of Rastranada with a very unfortunate history of humanoid contact. The Doctor finds himself leading a desperate race for survival, in which the shadows may be the least of their worries. What one sounds the best in that box set then?
I was going to ask you the same question, actually. Do you know, I'm quite taken with the Colin Baker one.
Yeah, that sounds really good, the Carrionite one.
What about you?
I'd quite like to see the Tom Baker for Astronauta one.
Yeah. So there's two Astronauta ones in the same box set, which is interesting.
Because they both tie in, the season opener and the season finale.
Yeah.
What other monsters would you like to see each other face if they make a third box set?
Oh, good question. Let me think through that one. The Silence would be quite good. We've not seen them, have we, yet, in New versus Old?
No.
No?
We've seen them in Big Finish, but not
Yeah.
New versus Old.
So that'd be quite a good one.
Yeah,
who else? Missy, maybe? It'd be
yeah.
interesting to see whether they could do that. It would have to be something which would wipe the knowledge of her.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would, yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if they could do that. Michelle Gomez has been in Big Finish, so
Actually,
it's not stopping her, no.
there's some with Doctor Who ones.
Yeah,
Is she?
yeah.
Who else?
Benedict Cumberbatch was actually. Sherlock.
Oh, was
guy.
he?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, he
He's
was.
a bit big for it now. I can't say that. How
Yeah, I know.
Trying to think. Problem is with new heroes that they often underplay the monsters a bit, don't they? Except in the last series, they've criminally underplayed monsters on numerous occasions.
In the last two series.
Yeah, probably.
The Maya,
Yeah. But you could argue that that's
Fisher King.
a bit of a trend in Moffat's era, actually.
Well, definitely the Capaldi era so far.
Yeah. Who do we want to see? Sycorax we've had, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's carry on. I can't think.
Yes. Yeah, that it would just be good. Do you think they should do a little bit of a switch around maybe one day, like where it's like they get new doctors to do classic?
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. I guess it depends on whether we see any other new doctors.
Yeah.
We've only had David Tennant so far, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if we get to hear some Capaldi ones.
Yeah, maybe have 2 Tennants, 2 Capaldis in the box set.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Matt Smith. I'm sure Matt Smith would do them.
Yeah, it's a matter of whether he's busy doing other stuff. I guess.
Yes.
It surprised me actually that Tennant was able to do it.
Yeah, Matt Smith has said I think he would do them, but he's not been asked.
Oh, really?
I'm sure that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
But that's enough for news this week. Let's move on to our features. Our main feature this week is our look at the worst, or our worst 6 from Classic Who, as the 6 episode challenge continues. So then, just before episode 200, a few weeks before that, we had a little feature going on, the 6 episode challenge, and we went through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 2000s and 2010s. And in all 5 of those decades, we picked out our top 6 episodes, or we challenged each other into saying what ones we think should be in there. We swapped them with any challenges that we think are worthy. We narrow it down to a 3 and a winner of the decade. This time it's the complete opposite, but we're just doing it for Classic and New Who because it was hard enough for the Classic and New Who sections. This week we've got our worst 6 episodes written here that we've seen, and we have to we challenge each other and explain why we've got them in there, and then we're going to come up with the worst 3 Classic Who stories and the worst Classic Who story.
Well, I've got a bit of a disadvantage here insofar as there's a lot of the really bad ones I've not seen.
Yes.
So I'm sure our lists will differ significantly in this.
Yes. Should I? Yeah.
But we should go with it. I mean, even there's certainly a couple of my 6 I don't even think are that bad.
Okay.
I'm looking at the worst episodes of all time. There's probably far more in New Who, I think, than in Classic Who. But let's go with it and see what happens.
Okay.
You're going to start off?
Yeah. My worst 6 are Paradise Towers, Time and the Rani, The Twin Dilemma, The Dominators, Time Lash, and Underworld.
Okay.
What are yours?
Okay. My worst ones are Paradise Towers, no surprises there. Happiness Patrol.
Okay.
Even though I really like the Bertie Bassett guy.
Candyman.
Although he's rubbish, but I like him. But it's a really rubbish idea.
It is, yeah.
The Ribos Operation, because it was very, very boring.
Yeah.
Mark of the Rani.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't mind Mark of the Rani, actually. I mean, there's bits of it I really like. I really love the bit with just for humour value, really, where the Doctor's being pushed down the hill on the on that sort of board.
On the well.
Towards the
to
well.
the well, yeah.
Leisure Hive. Similarly, I don't dislike it really.
No.
But it's not up there with the best. And finally, a bit of a surprise one here, maybe, but Doctor Who the movie.
But you haven't even seen that.
Well, I've seen half of it.
Yeah.
So I've just judged off the first.
I
half.
didn't put that in there because I didn't think it would count.
Yeah. Well, I have put it in there because I was struggling to think of 6 really bad ones.
Okay.
And it's not even the movie isn't that bad. It's just feels like it could have been done better.
It could have been done better, yeah. It is quite American, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Quite Americanised. And quite a lot of good films are American, but and most of them actually. But it's one of those cringy films.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's wrong of us to sort of just because as you say, a lot of the really great series that are made are American series
and TV and films.
Yeah, but it has a little bit of an American TV B movie about it.
Yeah.
But not in a good way, if you ask me. So we've only got one that we agree on there, which I think is probably more than anything, just down to the fact that I haven't seen 5 of the episodes on the list.
Yeah.
The only one I've seen on your list is Paradise Towers.
Yes.
And I would certainly agree with that one there.
Yeah, I know. It is. Okay, should I explain why?
Yeah, explain why for each of them.
Paradise Towers easily goes in there. We watched it a few weeks ago. It's so cringy. One of the worst things I've ever sat through. And I've had to watch it twice.
Yeah.
So it's just excruciating. But Sylvester McCoy is the only, looking on a positive side, Sylvester McCoy is good in it. Time in the Rani is just as bad, if not even worse. It's another one which is exactly the same in quality. Awful.
I've only seen the early stages of that one, the bit after the regeneration, and it does look really cringy.
It is, yeah.
But even McCoy looks quite cringy in it.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
The Twin Dilemma, don't let me explain that. It's no surprise that that's in there. The Dominators is just absolutely boring and quite rubbish.
I find it hard to believe that a Troughton one's going to be that bad.
It is. It's quite bad. Time Lash, another Baker one, Colin Baker. It's not that great. It's one of the worst according to fans.
Well, even Paul Darrow, when we saw him at the Comic-Con, and he was talking about it, and he made a comment about it not being very good, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's in it, isn't he?
Yeah. They're not very good. And Underworld, which is a Tom Baker one, possibly the worst, if not, yeah, one of the worst Fourth Doctor ones.
So is that worse than the Rivals operation?
It's quite bad. It's rubbish looking because they spent all of their money. It's rubbish looking, rubbish plot. You know, it's just forgettable.
What did they spend all their money on?
No, they spent all the money on the episode or something, but it was rubbish anyway. So.
Okay, yeah. In terms of mine, and my reasoning is largely because, as I said, I haven't seen a lot of the worst ones. So, Happiness Patrol. Well, Paradise Tower speaks for itself. See review episode 199.
Yes.
Paradise Towers. So moving on to Happiness Patrol.
It's in my runners-up list.
Yeah, it's just really bad, isn't it? It's another one of the cringeworthy ones. It's just the only redeeming sort of fact of it really is that the Candyman looks quite funny.
And that's cringy too.
It is really cringy, yeah.
It's just that's another awful one.
It's one of the worst villains of all time, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Even it's almost as bad as Tabby and Tilda.
But it's got a very similar feel about it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Don't know.
An entertaining villain, let's say that.
Yeah, it must have got to the state. Did the Seventh Doctor sort of wander around thinking, well, how good? The villains that I face aren't anywhere near as tricky as they used to be.
Yeah, there's
Because
like no Daleks or
rubbish,
Zygons or Cybermen, or even to the New Who extent, there's no Weeping Angels or Silence or anything like that.
No, that's right. I mean, I'm sure the Doctor would face the Candyman any day, wouldn't he?
He would, yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be much easier for his job.
Rivals Operation was just boring.
It was terribly boring. Another one in my backup list.
I mean, a lot of people seem to like that one, don't we? So we're out on our own little bit there. But
no, but when I was looking through, I looked through two episodes, two lists, which were like the 10 worst ones.
Oh yeah.
And in both of them, they both featured the Rivals Operation.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Was one of them written by us?
Probably. it would be in my top 10 worst of classic Who. Yeah.
Okay. Mark of the Rani. It's a bit tacky, isn't it? I'd say it's harsh going in my worst.
Time in the Rani.
Yeah, but I've not seen that. See.
Yeah.
So Mark of the Rani, it's a bit harsh. I don't even mind it. I quite like it in many respects, but there's bits in it I quite like.
Was a month ago good for you because you've not watched Paradise Towers? Was life good for you?
It did feel like all the good work that happened so far in 2017 seemed to be washed down the drain in 4 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Leisure Hive, which is quite a forgettable episode, really, isn't it?
It is.
Again, it's not overly bad. There's good bits in it, but it's forgettable. Doctor Who the movie, as you rightly pointed out, I've not seen it all the way through, but I haven't found that I've been so upset by that I've needed to go out and watch the second half.
No.
And it's I don't like the feel of it. It's all right.
It's okay, yeah.
It's probably better than I thought it was going to be. To be fair,
It was, yeah.
but it's not great. They could have done so much better with a series bringing things back. The Master's very.
The
It
Master.
just doesn't feel like the Master. at
No
all.
offence to Eric Roberts,
Mhm.
who played him, and it's not his fault. It's just he wasn't very mastery.
No, that's right.
He was just not very well thought of. He's not, you know, we've got people like Roger Delgado, Anthony Ainley, Michelle Gomez. They all suit the role as the Master, but Eric Roberts didn't.
No. Okay, so narrowing that down then. I mean, this is probably the most tricky one we've had because.
I mean, can I list down my runners-up?
You can list, yeah, but go through those, yeah.
So
I think you named all my runners up.
any you want to do as challenges for me or not?
You've included all the ones I had as challenges.
Okay. Greatest Show in the Galaxy
Oh, I forgot to write that down.
is one of my
Right.
backups. It's another cringy one. People like that one.
Yeah,
It's a bit overrated in my opinion.
the trailer for it's strong.
Yeah, it's okay. Can't believe I've ever. No, I just hate it.
If you had to put a 7, if it was a 7-episode challenge, would that have been 7?
Yes, because I hate it. It's awful, but you know, it's entertaining, but it's absolutely awful. Yeah, then I've got the Happiness Patrol. That's even more awful. The Web Planet, William Hartnell episode.
Okay.
It's just really annoying.
You don't like these creatures in it, do you?
No, the squeaking for the.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really annoying, really boring. I just don't like it. Time Flight. I need to watch it again. It's okay.
Yeah.
The Ride Bus Operation is just plain boring apart from the first 10 minutes. And sadly, I've had to put the Gunfighters in as the last choice.
Interesting one.
Because I couldn't think of anyone's worse.
Yeah.
Anyone's worse than it because
Yeah.
I thought it's not. I'm sad to say this, but it isn't the best episode ever.
Yeah,
Let's say this.
It's not meant to be, is it? I guess
It isn't. No.
I guess the challenge to that was the only other one I had written down, but I wrote it down but forgot you hadn't watched it. Was Delta from the Back, possibly even punching the face out of Paradise Towers. Looking at the clips you've watched from it.
It will be in there. Definitely in the top 6. Bottom 6, sorry. Of the classic series. I mean, most of those are from the 80s. From our top 6.
So if we're going to go for an agreed 6, I think I'm just going to agree with yours because I can't argue with them.
Okay, so a top 3 then. Bottom 3 for you and then for me. You? Bottom 3.
Bottom 3 of mine would be Paradise Towers, Happiness Patrol, and Ride Bus Operation.
Bottom 3 for mine. Paradise Towers, Time and the Rani Twin Dilemma.
Okay.
So
if you're going to think of the worst one, it's surely got to be Paradise Towers.
It's got to be Paradise Towers. It's my. I'm gonna say it is my least favourite story of all Doctor Who history. I hate it when we do these negative features because it's such a shame. But I hate Paradise Towers. It's awful. Everything about it, apart from, as I said, McCoy, is just terrible.
It's one of those ones where it doesn't even. Usually you get the it's so bad it's good sort of feel about something, but this didn't even do that, did it?
It has a rubbish it's like loads of things brought together, rubbish conclusion.
Yeah.
And it's just got rubbish characters, rubbish monsters, rubbish companion, rubbish scenery. It's just terrible. Everything about it, just awful.
Yeah. Okay. So, folks, that is, if you're going to dig into Classic Who, those are the 6 episodes not to watch.
Yes, but if you are to dig into Classic Who, reminder that you should watch episodes like the War Games, of the Daleks, Genesis of the Daleks, Talons of Weng Chiang,
and Inferno,
the Caves of Androzani, Inferno, and many more.
Yeah, because there's lots of classics out there.
There are lots of classics, and I would say in the classic series, there's probably more really good episodes than really terrible episodes.
Yeah.
Even though there are quite a few crap episodes there, but
I think once we get on to doing the worst episodes of New Who, it's going to be easier to do than this one.
it will be, I think,
Yeah.
because not necessarily saying that Classic Who's better, maybe it is, but New Who has quite a lot of bad or at least meh stories, or and there's only a select few classics, probably.
Yeah.
I could say, or there's like 10 classics from New Who when there's a lot. I mean, Classic Who has an advantage because there's more of them.
Yes, there is that. Yeah.
And there's more classics.
So that brings us to the end of that item, I think.
Yes, it does.
So what's the next and final item?
We are going to be reviewing the 11th Doctor story, The Beast Below. So then, this week, or last week, the randomizer picked out for us the 2010 story starring Matt Smith and Karen Gillan, The Beast Below. This was written by Stephen Moffat, and it was the second episode in Series 5. Can you please give us some synopsis, plot, details for The Beast Below?
Okay, so this is the sort of second of Stephen Moffat's stories as showrunner.
Yes.
This one starts with the Doctor and his new companion, Amy, and he's showing off to her a little bit, isn't he? He's showing her, he's holding on to her and letting her whiz through space.
Yes.
After a little bit of messing about here and there, they arrive on Starship UK, which is a colony spaceship containing everybody that's alive within the United Kingdom. And they basically left the planet to escape some deadly solar flares. They spot this girl crying on the TARDIS cam, a little girl called Mandy, and basically what seems really odd here is the fact that although she's crying, all the adults seem to be walking past ignoring her, so it's obvious that something's gone on. The Doctor, whilst having a route around, notices that there doesn't seem to be any normal engines powering the starship, and in fact it's set up as if to make it look like that's there, but it's not. He asks Amy to follow Mandy whilst he explores further, and he finds, let's say, that everything seems to be false, and he also discovers this masked woman called Liz 10, and she's similarly aware that there's something very odd going on, and she's also aware of the Doctor's identity. Meanwhile, Amy confronts the little girl, and she explains that she had lost her friend to this beast below after he'd refused to follow the rules and regulations of the Starship UK, and he'd run a sort of afoul of these robot-like things called Smilers that sort of sit in pods, very, very similar to what you used to see in arcades in the old days.
Yes.
And basically, depending on your reaction, depends on whether you get the smiley face, the a little bit annoyed face, or the very, very angry I'm going to kill you face. Whilst rooting around, Amy uncovers this sort of tent, which seems to refer to this hole in the ship. And when she goes in there, she finds these tentacle sort of like reaching out from this pit, and quickly sort of heads back, fairly scared, and bumps into these monk-like people, the Winders, who are sort of policing the ship. Amy's taken to this voting booth, and she's sort of watching this video which is explaining. First of all, it identifies who she is. It's quite funny in itself, isn't it? Because it has her as being about 3,000 years old or something.
Yeah.
Like that. But then she gets this opportunity to either protest the truth of what the video's saying, or the booth will make her forget it. And she watches this video, which she obviously finds very, very upsetting, and chooses to forget it. But in doing so, she also records this video to show herself after the memory wipe to get the to tell the doctor to make sure that but basically to get him off of the ship before he learns what's going on. I think that's probably all I need to say.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think? Is that
Yeah,
is
I
that
think
a
it is.
handy synopsis?
Okay, so I'll share my thoughts first. Thank you for that, by the way.
Okay.
It's quite a forgettable story, I would say, in terms of a Doctor Who story. However, it has quite a good plot to it, quite a good story. Definitely nearer the end when you learn what is actually going on. It's a good, second story, and it's possibly one of the better second episodes in the series. Ones from the series of the modern Who. But it is one of the weaker Stephen Moffat episodes, I'd say.
But the ones he's actually written himself, yes.
On the ones that he's written himself, not necessarily from his era. In his era and possibly in New Who, it probably fits around the middle, and possibly in Doctor Who history. It is probably a middle-y story. It's like an average story. There's not really much special about it, I wouldn't say, but I would say that it does have some good ideas and concepts created.
Funnily enough, and the Whoniverse may shoot me down for saying this, but I'd be very happy if Series 10 was a series of episodes like this. Because actually it was a very watchable one, very family friendly, creepy in its own right, but not creepy you can't show the kids. The Smilers were great. There's a fantastic moment in it, spoiler alert, there's a fantastic moment in it where where the doctor disobeys them and says, well, what can you do about it then? And then the boxes that they're encased in open up and they stand and get out of it.
Yeah.
They could have made more of that, actually.
They could have done, yeah.
And instead, Liz 10, or whatever her name is, sort of pops up and blows them all away.
It's it would be quite good to see a few episodes like this, I would say. I think maybe we should go back to some of the style and tone of some of those Series 5 stories. Because I think Series 5 was perfectly in the middle of where Doctor Who should be.
I'd agree, it's not as twee as some of the RTD stuff.
But it's not as dark as some of the late Smith Capaldi stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get some more epic stuff in the new series. We're going to get some very action-packed things for the new series. I think it will be an adventure-type tone to the series from what Capaldi's been saying.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I actually really enjoyed Beast Below. It was a lot better than I remembered it being. I think the reason I didn't really remember it very well was when I watched it last time I was on the train. I was watching it on my iPhone, so it's quite a small picture anyway. But I was also conscious that I was sitting in a seat that I shouldn't have been sitting in. So whilst I was watching it, I was also keeping a lookout for the train guard. So I think therefore I probably didn't take it in fully.
Why shouldn't you have been?
Because I was sat in the seat that was reserved for someone else when they hadn't come on. So,
okay.
Yeah. There wasn't anything too serious or anything.
No.
Wouldn't have been arrested for it.
No.
I wouldn't have been. The smiler face may have gone from happy to a little bit angry, but I don't think I would have got beamed down to the beast below.
No. So this is the second story in Series 5. We always name things as the typical episode 2s. And this is the and the story before this, the 11th hour, saw both the 11th Doctor and Amy being introduced. How do you think this suits as a follow-up to the 11th hour? Do you think fans loved the 11th hour. Do you think it was a good second episode for the series?
Do you know, ironically, I possibly prefer this one than the 11th hour.
How?
I'm not a big fan of the 11th hour.
Yeah, but I don't know how you can prefer this to the
Well,
11th
it's
hour.
a long time since I've seen it, and that thought may differ. But yeah, I know everybody likes it, and maybe it's just me being awkward or something. But
It's a bit overrated, but it's better than this. It's not saying that this one's not good, but it's just slightly better.
yeah, and perhaps I could twist it straight on the head then and say, too good, too bad.
Okay.
So normally at this stage, when I say the words too good, too bad, that means that we've got to think of two things that are good and two things that are bad, and we have one apiece. So too good.
I really like the ideas and the concepts in this, including the ideas of the Smilers and the idea of the Star Whale dilemma that they face later on in the episode.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very wide open good. That sort of like pretty much embraces anything that I could add to it. I actually like the look of the UK. I like the idea of the whole of the UK being in this space shuttle that's sent up into space. So I'm going to go for that. Just the look and feel of the episode. Is very good. Too bad.
I hate saying this because it's not a bad about the episode. I'm just saying this as a general thing, okay? Because it's always harder, apart from if it's a bad one that we mentioned in the bottom 6 challenge earlier on. I don't like child actors in Doctor Who.
No? I actually think this one's okay.
This one's okay. It's okay, okay?
Okay.
However, I would like to just comment on that. I don't like any episode which has the child actors in as main parts of the episode. That's why I don't like In the Forest of the Night, you see.
Yeah.
I hate that episode.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, I just don't like it very much.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be like that, but we don't... I mean, America has really good child actors. But when they're in Doctor Who, they don't usually seem to be great. They're okay in this one. I don't mind them in this one.
Yeah.
But they're usually not very good.
Shall I give you my bad?
Yeah.
I like the character of Liz 10. I even think it's quite clever the way that Liz 10 actually means Elizabeth X. But I don't really like the idea of the all-action queen. It's very similar.
No, that would never happen.
Yeah. She wouldn't be let out of their sight or anything like that. It's very similar to the concept that they used in Nightmare of Silver with the President of the Universe or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So that's it's not really a bad, but that's probably as bad as I can think.
Yeah, I mean it's always hard, isn't it, to think of the bads?
Yeah.
It's not that this isn't a bad story. So
It's a good story. I like.
It's a good story.
I like the idea.
Yeah, there's some very good ideas, and
I love the idea of. I should have gone for this as my too good, but I like the idea of the question. Everybody's allowed to vote, and then their mind's wiped if they choose the thing that people don't want you to know.
yeah.
I love that. That's it's democracy gone crazy, but it's quite good. I like that.
It is quite a good idea.
So yeah. Okay.
Should we run down results then?
Okay.
And things.
Yeah.
So Twitter poll. Should we go?
Oh yeah,
to
go
that?
to the Twitter poll. I forgot about the Twitter poll. Yeah.
So basically, every week we set up a Twitter poll on the Doctor Who Time and Space Twitter, and we've had a selection of votes. It's too late to vote now. I mean, whilst we're recording this, you've got 1 hour left, but once this has gone out, it will be too late to vote. So it's quite... 3 categories have the same results, and 1's leading.
Okay.
So,
I'd do it from the bottom, as in terrible, and go upwards.
okay. we've got 20% terrible,
Uh-huh.
20% alright,
Yeah.
40% good, and 20% fantastic. So that means that we've got a mostly good
Yeah.
section. I would struggle to find myself in a good or alright section. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
I would put myself in.
I voted on this poll and I voted good.
Yeah, it is good.
It's a very easy episode to watch. That's what I like.
It's very easy. It's very enjoyable. Yeah, it would be good to see a few episodes like this.
Yeah.
To take this, I'm sure we will.
I think so as well. Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. We've only
We
got
shall
6
have to wait
weeks
and
to
see.
wait till series 10,
Yeah.
till new Doctor Who. Okay, so we always do scores as well.
Okay.
Unless you want to say anything about the episode.
No, far ahead. I think I've said enough.
Okay, monsters, villains.
There's something really cool looking about the Smilers. I mean, are they really the main villains? It's questionable. I mean, you have about 3 seconds where they come out of the pod and get shot. And that's about it, really, isn't it? But they look really, really cool. So I'm going to give them probably a 7.
Character development.
I like the way Amy learns something valuable on here, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And so does the Doctor. In terms of Amy learns that the Doctor doesn't like it if he gets played the fool, but also the Doctor learns that Amy actually is quite comfortable with and capable of making very, very big decisions.
She is, yeah.
So I'll probably give it an 8 actually for character development.
So that is so far a 15. Excitement.
It's not the most exciting episode, but it's certainly not the least. I'll probably give it about 7.
Pace
Really good pace on it. I'll give it an 8 for pace. Yeah.
and story.
These got to be whole numbers, haven't they?
Yeah.
Probably a 7.
So 37.
Yeah.
Out of 50.
Okay.
Which
I'm not
is
sure necessarily
bad.
I'm always consistent with my scoring.
What do you mean?
In that, I think if I was to look at the amount of scoring and then look at them in a list from best to worst, it probably wouldn't tally with my best to worst list.
No. Okay, so overall scoring you can give numbers that aren't whole.
I would give it 7.9.
Okay, I would give this 7.7, I think.
Okay.
It's quite good.
Yeah, excellent. I really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, it was good to watch it again.
And it's the 100th episode since we started the randomizer.
Yeah, so
Whoa.
let's find out what's number 101 then, should we?
101, yeah.
Let's hope it's not Delta and the Bannerman or any of the ones we named today on the...
But whatever it is,
challenge.
if it's available, we will watch it.
Yes.
Okay, unless you've recently watched it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go for it. Let's open up. Do you want to explain the principles of the randomizer?
Yes,
very
so
briefly?
we've got every single episode on the randomizer. We click it. It's a macro, by the way. So we click it. It comes up with a random episode. We watch it, review it the next week.
Yeah, sounds good. So, what's going to be there? But incidentally, we're about a third of the way through all Who episodes, I think, aren't we?
Oh, we're over a third, I think, now, are we?
Okay, that's probably about right. So, here we go. Let's
Phew.
let's press that magic randomizer button.
Oh.
Okay, I'm quite excited about this,
Yeah,
it's an episode that
that's really interesting.
it's an episode that
actually.
a lot of people seem to be very critical of.
Yeah, we're in the Matt Smith time, aren't we?
We've had a lot of Matt Smith stuff.
So first of all, I'll just say that by the way, why I said why I was so pleased just before we clicked the randomizer was because Time and the Rani was on there just before we pressed it, meaning that wouldn't be the one we were watching.
It potentially could come up again, but what it does when you load up the randomizer, it updates the random thing straight away. So it selected on opening it selected Time and the Rani.
Yes.
We then press the button, which is what is basically
Yes.
our live one.
And what we found out is that next week we will be watching The Rebel Flesh and The Almost People.
Sounds good. 'Cause I've been wanting to watch this one again for a long time.
I've been wanting to watch this one for a long time.
Yeah.
Actually.
Sounds good.
So we'll be reviewing both parts of that episode on
Yep.
next Saturday's show. Stay tuned to that.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of the show, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
a bit of a shorter show than usual this week.
Is it now? Well, we haven't finished yet, have we?
No, but yeah. Okay, so should we talk about next week?
Yeah, what we got next week?
Next week it's episode 202, and we'll be continuing and finishing our 6-episode challenge with our worst New Who episodes.
We'll be talking about the Rebel Flesh Almost People, or the Almost People Rebel Flesh. Can't remember which way around it is.
Rebel Flesh Almost People.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that next week, as just announced from the randomizer.
Exclusive. We talk about the latest Doctor Who news and views.
And we will be pressing the magic randomizer once more.
Yes. So contact us then. You can contact us at drwhotime_n on Twitter. Also, you can contact Decool.
Yes, you can. Also on Twitter, which is Mark with the C. So it's Mark Freak Geek.
Yeah, and at those Twitter accounts, you could tell us anything about today's shows. You could talk about season 10 theories. You could talk about new Doctor speculation. You could talk about your worst episodes, Beast Below, Almost People, Rebel Flesh, anything we've talked about, or anything Doctor Who related, or anything geeky related, or Big Finish related.
I'm going to be quite interested to see what happens when you put your poll on next week for the Almost People Rebel Flesh, how people vote for it.
Yeah.
It does seem to be universally hated. I'm wondering whether it's going to be one of those episodes and watching it again you think, actually, that is a bit pants.
Yeah, it might
Because I quite enjoyed it the first time round.
I'm sure it's not that bad. Then you can you can leave a comment at Miss Lewis Moon on YouTube. See us at Doctor Who Time and Space on Podomatic, or the same at iTunes or the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance, where you can tune into about 20 of our most recent shows.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us, people. We'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. Hopefully, middle of the week, I'll get around to uploading the episode that we recorded a couple of weeks back and haven't yet done, which was a 3-minute rant.
Oh, yes.
I'll try and do that sort of Wednesday night or something.
Can you do Doctor Who Time and Space on YouTube? Oh,
yes.
have you done?
Yeah.
Okay, so, sorry, just a bit of chat there. I've been Lewis Moon.
I've been Dr. Cool.
Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time. Same time.
Same space.
Tatty bye.
Thank you.